Playoff fever has come to upstate New York, and there's a look at Bills Stadium here at Orchard Park. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good AFC matchup in store between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Buffalo Bills. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's a diving catch right side.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Running on first down, Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, and you think about the man in charge, their head coach, this marking his first ever playoff game as the head coach, and you wonder what's going through his mind right about now.
Brandon, I think we both agree that he's had a great season, and we wouldn't be surprised at all to see him get plenty of Coach of the Year votes. I thought he took the right tone in his weekly press conference, though. Played it cool, took the reserved angle, and when you don't have the track record, I think that's the exact right way to do it.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now it's Herbert. Forced out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. A.J. Epinesa. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw here, Herbert. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Five wide. Take four.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Second down at 4.
Watch twist. He's coming. 56. He's coming, double up. Check 31. Half 85.
Allen. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs there to make the grab. And the Bills will strike first here in this wild card matchup. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On second down, Eckler. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Here's Herbert. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he is going to have the Chargers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I'm on. Rush in. Switch. Alert. Show it up.
On the ground, it's a handoff to Coleman. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Check. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Jim. 5 wide. Check 52. No. Off. Pick the edge. Come. Check. Half 85.
Moss. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Zach Moss punching it in from a yard away. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. The Charger drive about to get going. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They snap it to Herbert. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. Allen now on 1st down. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Hey, 4 days. Kill. Shift. Watch twist.
Allen now looks to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Gabriel Davis, 29 yards. And the Bills continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Herbert now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years. I would agree with that totally. You often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome. But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they? That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. The Charger drive about to get going. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly. In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity. It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right? I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason. It's deep in there, right? The tackle is made by Micah Hyde. He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle. Herbert, quick pass out wide. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion. A field goal gets them closer, but they say no thanks. We want the lead.
46 to Mike.
Here we go on 4th. Herbert. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now? Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around.
Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense. They'll keep you in the game to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder coming up at the half, as we've done all year, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin on the road to Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. And meanwhile, Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And that went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On second down, it's Coleman. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Allen on third. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble and then recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
The Charger drive about to get going. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
A big game that time for the Chargers. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Kill. 36.
A handoff, it's Eckler. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Dante Pettis there to make the grab. And the Chargers are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Hatchet. Slam.
From the 27, Allen. Uncorks one for Davis. They've got his man complete. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
49's the mic. Watch 49. Pick me up. Here we go.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of the formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there, couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
44. Mike, 44. You ain't doing nothing today.
Here's Allen to throw it. Flushed out right. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
The kick by Bass is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium. But you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 50 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
I'm here all day. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. He's crashing. He's checking. Alert, alert, alert. SOS. Check.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Moss. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big gain there for the Bills. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right into perfect.
He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bills take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Play action. It's Herbert. Steps away to his left. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, 33 yards. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Sponge, sponge, sponge. No, no, no. Switch.
From the 31, Allen. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Switch. Check nickel. Under 10. Middle. Check.
They'll look to run with Moss. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Zach Moss, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Bills head on. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
On play action, Allen going for it all. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 48 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack on offense. Sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 27-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage. He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's looking like they are going to get the victory here, and it will not be one and done in these playoffs. Of course, you remember the disappointment of 12 months ago, and they're trying to erase that memory right now. Flush to his right. It's caught by Coleman. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like,
That's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Allen's throw is complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now they hand off to Coleman. 65 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Mike spoke ball. Target. Check 43. Watch, point gun.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen, nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Kenneth Murray came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
They can't hang on 52. He's coming. Double up.
Now Allen. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. D.D. Westbrook, 29 yards. And the Bills continue to pour it on. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. The touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. And they pitch it to Eckler, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Touchdown, L.A. Gerald Everett, 64 yards. And the Chargers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Hopkins with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. From his end zone, Isaiah McKenzie. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And it's looking like they are going to get the victory here, and it will not be one and done in these playoffs. Of course, you remember the disappointment of 12 months ago, and they're trying to erase that memory right now. He was brought down by Michael Davis. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the safety creep.
And Allen is actually going to throw it here. Escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. It's Davis. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A big gain there for the Bills. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
90 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the second round. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They will run again with Coleman. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
5 wide. Spoke Bo's the Mike. Mike spoke Bo. Check Mike. 44, Mike, 44. Alert!
To throw again on 2nd down. Allen eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points. Throw for Westbrook, but it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. One last throw here for Herbert. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. And a disappointing way to close out the season. He got into the playoffs but couldn't really make any noise.
Still a good season. Some might call it a great season when they get away from it a little bit. But they also will all look at their own errors, their own mistakes, and wonder how they could have played a little bit better. So if they get in this position again, they'll be ready to win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now we just have to deal with a snow-filled parking lot as we say so long from Buffalo.
I'm just looking forward to getting